may have a background cheerleader on this episode.
Okay.
Got a new thing in Minecraft going, and so he's all like, "Look what I can do!" I'm like, Cody, I'm on a podcast. It's like,
fine.
I'm sorry. Don't beat me.
Pod what? Oh, that computer guy.
But yeah, so
okay, let's see.
So yeah, I've been trying to like do a little bit of extra recording at the beginning and ends of these things for some of the conversation we have, just to drop in the Patreon stuff. So, if there's any kind of secret you want to give people that you only want paid people to know, this is the time. So, Fax's naked calendar will be posted before Christmas for the rush.
Okay, guys, this is Blue Stocking. You've neither met.
Hello.
Hello.
He only comes on when Jack is not able to come on.
Usually, yeah.
Happy to
and
see
Omar
you.
is new to the show, doing his own YouTube channel called M0vie.
Yep.
Sweet.
But it's great. It's great to be here.
Of course, we haven't even gotten started yet. This is just the pre-show warm-up where I will, be introducing everybody.
No, I'm showing my amateurness.
All of us.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna work. They're too bright. My normal flowers for the festivities of Thanksgiving just don't work for the camera right now. I don't know. They looked weird. Take a vote. Who wants the flowers on?
I like them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like the
fine.
flowers. We'll stay with the flowers.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
It says, "I am comfortable in my masculinity. I can wear flowers."
It really does. It's amazing how many people I have stopped me saying, "Why are there flowers on your hat?" And I look at theirs, going, "Where are your flowers?" And they're like,
There
That's
you go.
a good
That's a
question.
good comeback. I like that. Good retort.
It's actually started on a Steampunk November as a joke. One of our friends, Courtney, ran up and goes and shoved some up in there and like, "Oh, you're so pretty." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And I stuck with it.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Don't try to define me. Jeez.
Exactly. Don't put me in a box. Don't put
Convention.
me in a box. I'll ship myself to your house. That's what I do.
Is anyone familiar with the Renaissance Fair song "All Around My Hat"?
All around my hat. I've heard it.
No.
There's this. It's a hat. A song about a girl who wears a hat with flowers on it, and of course, since it's Ren Fair, they started making up alternate song lyrics.
Yeah.
All about my hat.
And the last two lines of the refrain, the alternate refrain, were, "If anyone should ask me the reason why I'm wearing it, I'll say it's my fucking flowers and my fucking hat."
There you go.
It's like, oh,
Own it.
you are
Yeah.
right. Not the original lyrics, but better.
Sometimes the remakes are better.
They can be.
Hey, we have Mick. He's here already. Looks like he's clapping. I didn't realize we started.
Well, we haven't started.
Timer in the corner. I see that now.
But
Oh, yeah, there is timers going in the corner. Yeah.
nobody puts Omar in the corner. What?
Oh, yeah.
Should we get started then, I guess?
Let's get started. Might as well.
Sure.
We're at 7:59. Everyone else is late now.
Remember this? You've reached the Texas Steampunk Connection Tuesday night, and you're tuning in. Thank you for tuning in with us. I am Thax, the Gentleman Adventurer. With me, Jack from Steam Chest. We have Blue Stocking, our guest who has been on the show a number of times now, and Omar, the movie ninja, from his own channel, where he talks about the latest movies and geeky themes. So we're here. You're here. Let's get to it. Let's talk about steampunk.
Are you sure you want to start with steampunk, or do you want to start with the beginning, how we normally start?
Well, All the things. All the things.
Point of order, Jack. Everything must be done orderly.
Yeah, I mean, I have a ledger. I have spreadsheets.
There's a routine.
There's a routine. We can't break the routine. Plus, I have to open my drink. I'm thirsty.
That's what I'm hearing. Jack needs a drink.
I'm thirsty. Parched. The opening show is parchy before we start.
Well, I guess, you're chomping at the bit. Hey, Jenny. And Mick, of course. Glad you guys have tuned in. Jack, what are you drinking?
I am finally getting to talk about this because I don't think I've talked about this one yet. I have a Yinling. Yinling.
Ooh, Yingling.
Yeah, traditional lager. I had a friend tell me that this was very important and that he used to drink it up north and you couldn't get it down here until finally there was a place to manufacture it down here. And when they finally he told me the whole convoluted story about the hardness of actually manufacturing this stuff, and it's one of the oldest beer recipes in America. And when they were bringing the recipe to the facility in Texas to manufacture it, it was guarded by vans and an armored truck with a guy with the thing handcuffed to his briefcase that had it in there, protecting it completely. And I don't know to believe him or not, but I'm willing to do it because to me it does taste that good. I am
Yingling it's really good. I used to drink it when I lived in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah. See, now we can get it here. All places I get it at the local Stripes, and so I've been very happy because it's where I go get my tacos for lunch most of the time these days. So
that whole story reminds me of the Blues Brothers. Omar, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, the Blues Brothers.
Elwood Blues would always come on stage with a briefcase handcuffed to his arm, and on the stage he would open the briefcase and pull out his harmonica.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Very important.
Sacred.
But it's for people who have not had this before, it is not as bold as some of the others. It's not like an IPA. It's like a very strong. It's hard to explain. I just like it. It's like just enough beer without being too much. It's thick without being thick. It's frothy. It's got enough bite to it from the carbonation, but it's not over too much. I'd say it's like 90% of what I want in just a normal traditional beer. If I want to go for beer without going like imperial stout or an ale or, my other one I hate telling people I drink, but Bud Light with lime, which is great when it's hot outside. But yeah, that's the look. That's the look I always get. Like, oh, you're terrible. Why do you get out of my house?
I know what it tastes like. That's why I made that face.
I don't know why the skunky lime just tastes good in that case. But I mean, I own it. I know it's terrible. I own it.
You know why they put lime in beer, right?
It's good
to hide the skunkiness.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they need to do that for people who smoke weed. I don't know. It might be good. I don't know. Put lime. I know they put lime in coconuts and these
Mix
things
it all,
these days.
Shake it all up.
Exactly.
I heard that's medically unrecommended. So that's a lager that
yes,
you've got there, right? Okay.
Traditional lager, and I was told it's better in the bottle, but the can is actually pretty decent too. So I just haven't tried the can yet to tell you the other side. So that's mine. Thank you for my TED Talk here. I'll show myself.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
Who'd like to go next?
I'll go.
All right.
Today it is Apothic Red blend.
Oh.
It's one of my favorites. It's cheap, but it's really, really good.
It's cheap but effective.
Yeah, it's it's my favorite. The Apothic has a couple different red blends, and they're all top notch. So that's my go-to.
Seconded.
Yeah, they're really good. The white is really good too.
I haven't tried that. Okay, I think they have a
really
bourbon barrel.
That's the Apothic Inferno.
That's my favorite.
With a name like that, I have to have at least the bottle soon.
Yeah, the bottle's really
sitting
pretty.
right over here.
Yeah. So that's mine, and it's like I said, it's simple. It's just a red wine, but it's something I can keep, sipping on, and it's good for cooking too. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
sip while cooking. That's a bonus.
Yep, that is Thanksgiving Day.
Nice.
Alrighty, Movie Ninja, what you got?
Oh, I'm basic. I got Nestle water. 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. It is roughly 72 degrees. No idea where it came from. I'm assuming somewhere on the planet.
I think it's like Northern California or Oregon.
Something.
Yeah.
We're having a drought. I am trying. I'm basic. I'm trying to drink less sugar. So just and since it's a little bit more in the evening hours, less caffeine. So just But that's what I got. I got water on my side, and that's
perfectly fine. Rita's a big fan of water too. Shout out to Rita.
I mean, it's 3/4 of my body. So I also, for biological reasons, I need it.
Yeah, we all do. We all should be like I probably shouldn't be drinking this right now, but next week, if it's cold enough,
I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not doing that. I was just doing a bit.
Yeah. No. Don't drink a gallon of it or anything. Good Lord. You'd have to wake up like multiple times in the middle of the night.
Hold the phone. Rita is not drinking water tonight. She's drinking flavored water.
Someone mark the calendar.
LaCroix, limoncello, limoncello. I don't know what that is.
It's French.
I've had it.
Limoncello.
It's fake French. It's faux French. There we are. It's faux. It's Fox French.
There you go. Yeah. But thanks, sir. I will completely give it over to you. Oh, this way. There we go.
Thank you.
That way.
I have pulled out my Real Ale Commissar Russian Imperial.
Ooh.
So now how Jack was saying it's thick but not too thick, dark but not too dark. This is too thick and too dark.
It's lumpy when you pour it, right?
So it's a beer and a meal.
It's kind of creamy. Yeah.
It's like traveling food.
9.8% alcohol. It is.
Don't be driving.
I'm home. It's okay.
There you go.
I drive better when I've got a few down. Yep. And it's
drive
nice.
Better when I'm 18%.
Real Ale has a 12-pack with 3 different what's called high gravity beers or high alcohol content beers, and they're all good. So and the as I recall, the 12-pack that I got this from, it's not any more expensive than a 12-pack of any other craft beer, so it's a great deal. I can't be more pleased with this.
Nice. I actually want to try one of those. I have yet to have that one.
That is really dark. I don't know if I could.
Would you like a slice?
It's like
Flavio,
bread.
One of the
Flavio
best
loved thick, dark beers like this. This is his season.
Yeah. One of the best jokes, I was hoping I could find that comic strip again, was actually a character who's like, what is that? Oh, it's a Guinness. Like, would you like a sip? It's like, you can't sip it. Guy grabs the cup, turns it upside down, lifts the cup up, and it's sitting there like wobbly like Jello. Like, but well, what have you guys been up to?
It was Halloween.
Yeah, it was a great Halloween.
It was not bad.
Went trick or treating. Found the guy who gives out the $5, bricks of candy bars. Not the candy bar, but like the one you got to buy yourself candy bar, the big one. It's like candy bars and a candy bar. Yeah, he lives like right around the corner from me, and that's what he does. He's like, I go out, I buy $200 worth of candy bars, and this is what I do for the group.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my kids.
Yeah, he never has a year where I got 3 trick-or-treaters this year and I have too much candy. That never happens at his house.
No.
They'll get 1 trick-or-treater and they'll start calling their friends. Gotta get over.
That's what happens.
That's what you do. Yeah.
Like every person that's wandering up is like, dude, this is awesome.
Gotta
Like,
follow
this
the
is the
lead.
legend. This is the legend that we all talk about when we're older.
The best house on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ours was really good. I was lazy Ghostbuster, and we had more trick-or-treaters than I expected, but we also had canned wine for the adults. and that went over like gangbusters.
Oh,
yeah, we would give the candy and like, I've got wine. And one lady was walking away and I heard the can crack as she was walking away. So.
It's like I'm having it right now.
So that went over really well. We're going to do that again next year. Yeah. It was awesome.
As a parent who has to deal with that, by the time I'm to your house, my feet really hurt because I wear my costume boots are for motorcycle riding. They're not for walking very well. And so by the time I'm 8 blocks away, that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we figured everybody's had really rough almost 2 years. So, some canned wine. It's not the best wine, but it'll get you through the rest of the trip. So
Get you home. Terrible. I know it's terrible, but it's legal to actually here at certain times of the day on certain days to drink alcohol in the streets. And so, because my town is fun that way. Yeah, Thursday evenings on downtown in Elgin, Texas, of all places, we have kind of a sip, shop, and stroll. And so you're allowed to consume alcohol while walking around Main Street.
Nice.
Only a couple times have it gotten a little rowdy, but
well, in my town, according to the local constabulary, they are underfunded, and so they will not come out unless a crime is currently being committed.
With like an actual firearm and people are dead, right?
Yeah. So they couldn't care less.
Austin right now is on strike for many things. I think our fire department's on strike. Our police department's on strike. Yeah. I voted today. I did my thing. I did my striking.
Voted?
So.
I voted early. Voting early is the best. Because then all the commercials and all the flyers, you just throw them away.
Yep. I'm sitting here like, we have the technology to vote securely. It's just that people don't want people to vote.
Yeah.
I could vote on my phone. Yeah. My phone's tied to my bank account, which is tied to my social security number, which once they get that, it's in a thing. And if I vote twice, they can say, hey, you voted twice and you voted differently. Did you vote twice on purpose or by accident? And I can say, oops, I did it by accident. And they'll throw one out. Done.
Yeah. If you can securely log into your bank account on your phone,
I can take a picture of a check, and that's good enough these days.
Exactly.
So that's my thinking on it.
That just feels weird to me. I at least want to put the actual check in the ATM. I know that it doesn't make any sense, but I have to.
What I do is I
mail it.
I take a picture. Checks. Oh yeah, you mail checks.
Oh, because I like a paper trail.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, I mean, when they send you an email to let you know that the check's been
I get a check stub and everything, and it's in my email, and I get like 3 places where it's digital, and I print it off, or I get handed the check, and I have the paper rip bit that tells me how much money I'm giving the government, how much I'm not making out of my measly check. And then I write my name on the back of this, take a picture of it, and then shred that bit. I'm like, all right, well, I wait until I make sure it's in the bank before I shred it, but I shred it like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, that's what I do. I put it on the board and shred it 3 weeks later. But my school account, I have no checks, and there's no physical bank for me to go to. So I have to, everything is direct deposit or mobile. Yeah.
And we can all relate this back to Steampunk by talking about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is like the most etheric thing I can come up with outside of Ethereum.
My coworker bought some cryptocurrencies. I don't know what she bought, but
Does she know what she bought?
I don't know. She didn't seem like she wanted to talk about it a whole lot. She was just like, I bought some, and I'm just not going to look at it, and I'm going to hope it does well. Which sounds like the worst idea.
I don't know. I've actually considered just putting like $100 at each new one I could find that comes up on like my little apps that I use, just because
like
any of them just tend to just like either go up or crater, and I'm just like, at this point in time, it's a crap staple, but when it goes up,
just roll the dice.
Have you heard about the Squid Game coin?
Yeah, it's completely fake.
Yeah,
but a lot of people bought it.
Oh well, yeah, but they were playing the Squid Game online
because it's trending on Netflix. So.
Yeah, it was trending.
Yeah.
Oh, it still is. It's number 3.
You buy it on the game to play the game. Online.
It went up like 1,000%.
Yeah,
and people were buying it at that price, and then I guess the people who created it
Oh, is that the one?
Took the money and ran.
Yep, basically.
$500,000. They had an actual party to introduce this thing.
It was actually, I think, up to $2 million by the time they pulled
Was
it.
it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they stole millions of dollars from these
Can
groups.
you call it stealing when people just gave them that money?
It's true.
Thank
This
you.
is actually a legal thing that's going on right now, but there were stipulations when they signed up. Actually, the legal they stole in their like legalese is actually going to bite them in the butt because it does try to make it look legitimate, and so
Okay.
Yeah.
So like
because they actually
fraudulent terms, that sort of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Well, like I said, they had a party and everything, a real live party to introduce it. It was like marketing and just celebrities.
What
and
gets
then
me is that were
they were
they
gone.
actually part of the Squid Game? Like, was it funded by Netflix?
No,
No.
No.
that has nothing to do with
Probably
Netflix.
Like, I guess
No.
they were getting sued, or like they were figuring that they were going to get sued, and they just needed to do this right now and pull it out and go and be gone.
And they're done.
Netflix doesn't need
No.
That's Trump change for $2 million.
Yeah. Netflix doesn't really do alternate reality games like that. I mean,
This is a Black Mirror episode, though.
The computer stole my money.
Well, speaking of which,
well, somebody stole it before
Omar,
you
you
gave it
did
to
a-
them.
did you do a video on Squid Game?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I wanted to mention that. Check out his take
Oh,
on
yeah.
Squid Game. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't watched Squid Game yet because I'm
Neither have I.
I mean, that's,
I did watch it. And
when we get to it, but I was surprised at how compelling it was. But I mean, yeah, just get to it when you get to it. Netflix is not getting rid of this. It is printing too much money.
It is.
There's no rush. Just get to
you
it.
mean I don't have to worry about the Google like news things that pop up saying "Watch this before it's gone"? Like,
Yeah, it's too
no.
popular. Yeah.
It's been over 2 months, and it's still like it just dropped to 3 in their top 10. So
Yeah.
okay, I guess I should.
Halloween.
I'm gonna see if I can get us pulled back onto the rails here a little. Dax is over here going, "We are off track."
I don't care. Let me tell you about my Halloween.
Okay, please.
So I got all these dogs. So every time the door, somebody knocks on the door, they go crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I became one of those lame people who just sits a bowl of candy at the front of their. I know that's
We
terrible.
appreciate
No, I saw
your skill
Erica's
as a
post
parent,
about
just
this.
so you know.
Okay, you know what's going on?
Yeah.
It was out there for like 15 minutes before I had to go out the door to pick up my Chinese food. And when I went out, that bowl was gone. Like the candy was gone and the bowl was gone. Like
That's annoying.
that like
Should leash it to a
kind of
dog.
ruined my Halloween for a good half hour.
Well, but what about the other part she said about the guy with the dragging the cart with the?
Oh yeah. As I'm leaving the house, cussing and fussing because somebody stole my bowl of candy. There's this guy down the street, this tall, skinny white guy with a wagon full of bowls.
Oh,
That is so bold.
Hey,
That's
that
the
is very
guy.
bold. So you pull over, give me my bowl back. You can keep the change. I
I
want the
thought
bowl.
about it.
Just
I thought about it.
Drag your cart down the street with all the pilfered bowls. That is the best.
Well, I
That
will
is
admit,
confidence.
In my area of the world over here, we had a whole bunch of people sitting in their garages with their garage doors open and actually handing out candy. One guy had a speaker and a microphone. I think he actually like DJs on the side. And as kids would walk up, he would like kind of narrate what they are and like make jokes with them. And so the kids are all freaking out because
Aw.
my kid was the
Awesome, though.
Mandalorian. So like
Nice.
and he was the only Mandalorian. I saw like one Jango Fett and a whole bunch of clones, but I'm like, you're the original. I mean, you're the Mandalorian.
there you
No one
go.
else is like you. And we had his little Yoda to my ammo satchel that I carry around, and so it was fun. And it was as for a Halloween, I will say it was the closest one. It actually kind of harkens back to my childhood of actually being able to wander around and actually have a Halloween the way that it used to be in the early 90s. And so it was nice. And everyone seemed to be, I mean, it was busy. There was a lot of people. It's kind of surprising, actually. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to go to a lame trunk or treat and kind of wander around 2 or 3 houses and then go home kind of like, the kid being happy he's got candy, and I'm going like, let's go watch something Halloweeny on TV and drink my soul to rest because this is not what it used to be. No, I was pleasantly surprised. I actually had a really good time, and I talked to a bunch of my neighbors. So
people just want to be out. People want to do something slightly normal.
This is the year I should have done the steam chest thing. The party that we had last year. It didn't work out last year very well.
No, last year was not good.
No. I mean, I had people. I did have people come out of town, come to it, and out of state come to it, but it wasn't huge by no means. Yeah. This year it might have been a little better, but we would have had to enforce vaccinations at the door or something. I'm sure because worked at the building we had. But anyway, beyond all that, I'm happy I'm not doing that this year. I was happy doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of spooky stories to watch after you've trick or treated, has anybody watched A Tale of Grimm on Netflix?
Yes.
Omar has. Yep. Have you done your video yet? Do I need to hold back?
No, I mean,
I haven't even heard of it.
He's already given. I'll get it again. He's already given his opinion, and I've given my opinion in his comments. So no, you go for it.
No, we just finished it. It's a bit longer than I expected, but it's supposed to be the original tale of Hansel and Gretel. I'm not sure how much of it is the original and at what point they veered off sideways, but it's weird.
There is no,
yeah, you're right. There is no original.
Well, from the time of the Brothers Grimm cultivation of it, we can approximate, but the stories themselves are centuries prior to like when they originally collected them. So
they're centered in the play.
Fiction is malleable. I'll give it that way.
No, yeah. No, I just did a blog post about this a couple of weeks ago, so I dug down into the.
Okay, so
yeah,
I'm not the expert here by any means.
I am not either. I am not a folklorist.
No,
I just did a lot of reading about it.
I read a book. I'm an expert.
Okay, 2 out of 4 of us have already done blog posts or videos about this or something like it, and I'm not one of those 2 people. But it was awesome.
Yes.
I definitely would show a kid, especially not my kid, this show.
I showed my kid. He loved it.
Like, I'm not spoiling anything because it happens in the first episode. Hansel and Gretel get their heads cut off by their parents.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
in the first episode.
But it was tastefully done as the crows keep pointing out. I love it.
A tasteful decapitation?
Yeah, I mean, they did it. What did they call it? They could cut to the
silhouette.
The silhouette. They did a lot of silhouetting. So
cinematically, they would call it a zip pan, where the camera moves very quickly, so where you don't actually have to see the action.
But you don't see the spurting and the.
But, I mean, you still kind of felt like it was gory, but like your brain took over, and so it was just like, oh. And I loved it. It was great.
I
have not even heard of it. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, definitely. Again, this first episode, so I feel like I can talk about it. I thought it was rather gore-free for getting their heads chopped off, because you learn much later that the parents had to harvest their gore and smear it on other things for plot reasons. It's like, I didn't even get to see that. Come on. I want my money back.
I'm intrigued and I'm horrified.
It is great because there's a long arching plot line that goes into it, and they kind of they keep you intrigued. There's 3 crows that are kind of the narrator, or are directly the narrators of the story, and one is kind of a gag. What would you call that, Omar? What was the third crow? What would you call her? Comic reliefish?
Harlequin. Like, if I had to make a comparison to the traditional dramatic tropes, I would say that they were definitely the chorus. And one of them is definitely like the comic relief Harlequin. Like, there are 2 of them. There are 2 of them that they're on point. And the last one, Dory?
Yeah. Something like that. It's
something like that. Dory or Dora is very much like she breaks all of that and just like cracks wise, or just talks about how she's a carrion bird and she really wishes someone would die so she could eat.
Yeah, she's hungry.
Their eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck the juices.
Yeah, she gets very descriptive on like bodily functions, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't know eyes have juice.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got
All
such
eyes have
juice.
juice.
I will watch it after we're done.
It's written so that young, like, if you believe your kids can take it, but it's really good stories. They are a little, it is a little kind of affront, but it's not done where your kids will have nightmares.
No.
And my kid loved it, and there's a part where one of the people has to make a sacrifice to a degree, and my kid like completely got it and understood what the whole plot of that was for, and I was very proud of that because it was just complicated enough, but the leap of logic worked, and it worked for kids of 8+ for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish honestly that as a kid I had that show, because there are some things that in there that tells you to trust your brain, and then it also says, but if something doesn't feel right and your brain's telling you everything's okay, but you still don't feel good about it, trust your gut and like get a second opinion, because shit might not be right still. And it's I think very telling and a very good story from even just like life. I'm losing it here. I'm trying to go.
Well, that's fairy tales, though. I mean, that's when
Yeah.
you look at what they do. That is what they do. They're
teaching.
the lessons are obscure sometimes,
but I mean, it was very much, trust your brain. If your brain fails you, trust your gut, and it really worked out well. I thought they did it very good. They did it justice. And didn't one of the writers or someone talk to you, Omar? Did they reach out to you on?
Well, I mean, someone affiliated with the project saw my review and then just like reached out. I was like, hey, thank you for doing your review. I'm not entirely sure like who they were, so I can't say like, oh, the director, because I have no idea. But it was nice for somebody to reach out. Like, oh, thank you for talking about our show. So I was like, yeah, sure. It was something that I feel is sort of missing in like younger people's like entertainment is allegory. The idea that, actions and consequences are sequential, and we need that. But not in such a way that every action that you take will have a positive outcome. Sometimes you make a sacrifice and it remains a sacrifice. That's essentially, by definition, what it is. It doesn't cancel out something that was done and then, oh, you won the lottery because you gave, I don't know, this hungry person a meal or something. And when they do that, that kind of enforces this idea that I should only do good things if I'm getting rewarded for it.
yeah,
So
reward system.
Yeah, exactly. So A Tale Dark and Grim actually covered a lot of different scenarios that, had our primary characters, Hansel and Gretel, going to these various places, going on mini quests, essentially. And yeah, sometimes the reward was learning from their actions, primarily. And, I think that we need to have that because I am someone, and I have this for when my younger nieces visit us, but Saban licensed and produced a Toei animation Grimm fairy tale series in the 80s. And so I actually have the Blu-ray collection. And when I screened them for what episodes to show them and not, something occurs to me is so many of these fairy tales have exclusively positive outcomes, which is once again, it only enforces that idea that you should only be good because if you're good, then you'll be rewarded for it. And then again, you should just try to be good because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them that were sanitized. I mean, they were sanitized by Disney and everybody else in the 20th century because the originals, sometimes just bad things happen and you have no idea why.
If anyone has ever read the original Italian Pinocchio,
it's horrible.
Yes.
Carlo Collodi.
That would have been a Halloween.
Collodi's, oh my, Jiminy Cricket?
Yep.
He doesn't last very long.
Nope.
Yeah.
I've heard whispers about this story, but I've never actually got a hold of it.
Pinocchio gets tired of Jiminy
here,
yeah.
but
Pinocchio gets tired of Jiminy Cricket and squishes him, and That's that for the conscience. Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking about watching.
He got off
Pinocchio.
light compared to Pinocchio.
It's so bad.
Wait, but even then in Pinocchio, there's like the whole island of misfit children being turned into donkeys. I'm like, that's pretty dark for children to begin with.
They weren't misfit children. They were bad boys.
They were naughty boys. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Street urchins are naughty. If you're yet again another attack on the poor people.
All I'm saying is in the original,
Smoking.
in the first edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales, there's a story about a nightingale and a blind worm, about how the nightingale wants to borrow, but they each have one eye, and the nightingale wants to borrow the blind worm's eye and then won't give it back. It just flies away. And so that's why the blind worm tries to eat the nightingale's eggs for the rest of the time. There's no lesson there. Maybe don't trust people. Don't trust anyone.
True. And like you were saying earlier about how that some lessons are just you're good for the sake of being good.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of those.
Yeah, well, I mean, even in like the Grimm fairy tale that we were talking about now, there was a moment where the Gretel, I guess, the girl, she sacrifices something for no real reason. I mean, well, a reason to help somebody, but doesn't get anything out of it. And I think that was very important as well to explain. And they kept bringing it back, like the fact that they kept showing it, the fact that she was still like
she had a loss, but it was a loss that she acquiesced to help other people. So I mean, that didn't stop very admirable.
Later either. Like it was one of those things they kept bringing back around and showing that she's still going through and doing all this wonderful stuff despite the her loss. And
you shouldn't always expect a reward.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was exceedingly important as a story that we don't get in a lot of other of these kind of like we learn the power of friendship type of things, which are great, you know.
Thank you, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, so if you want a good version of that story, go watch the new She-Ra. That is fantastic.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
I just haven't.
It's very good. Very good.
There's too much to watch.
I'm like, He-Man's getting like 2 different versions of He-Man, and She-Ra gets like what, maybe a season, 2 seasons, and that's done. I'm like, that's.
I thought it was 4 collections. I thought it had a good run.
It had a good run, but here we got like He-Man rebooted twice in like a 1-year period, and a movie. And I'm like, they should have dumped more money on She-Ra. She-Ra is the like better.
She was always my favorite.
Going about it.
There is going to be more She-Ra though.
Is there?
Yeah, because the big giant spaceship turned into a tree, and they're going to go on to adventure.
All right. So our fifth co-host here, Captain Barnacles, on the side here, telling us all about the stuff. All right.
Does anyone want to do a report that's steampunk-ish?
I did homework.
as did I. But yeah,
I actually had time to prepare.
Wow. Go for it.
Yeah. I think. Okay, the first one is about Airborne Kingdoms, which I can't remember if it was y'all that posted the link for that or if it was Flavio. I think it may have been Flavio about the Switch version that was coming out. But I got Airborne Kingdoms on PC, and it is delightful and really frustrating.
As games should be.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's a whole fantasy kingdom that's fallen to ruin, and so you have to, they lost the technology to have airships, and they found it again. So you have to create this airborne city, and then you fly around and do quests to bring all the kingdoms back together. But as someone who has very bad, I have dyscalculia and no spatial reasoning. When you're building the city, you have to, it's not like a regular city builder because you have to account for lift and tilt.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that's really hard for me trying to, so I would get frustrated and stop and have to start over again. But
so you can capsize your entire city?
Yeah, and also your people's happiness is dependent on it built, because you can't, if you want to bring in immigrants, there's 3 levels of immigrants and they each have a level of happiness that they'll only come for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not totally top happy, you can't get all of them from each settlement that you visit. And like I said, because it's hard for me to balance it, but there's also a sandbox version where you can just build.
Gotcha.
And it's got almost a Minecraft feel to it because it's blocky. It's not it's not like The Sims or SimCity or one of those. It's very blocky. It's very low res, but it's so cool. There, all of the quests that you go around and you do, and you have to discover these ancient things, and you find blueprints, and each kingdom has a quest for you to do to bring them back online. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I just gotta. It's on I know it's on PC, and I think it's either out on the Switch or it's coming out.
Okay.
Soon. Yeah. There's a trailer for it on YouTube, and it's super fun. Like I said, it's very simplistic graphics, but it's, getting all the different buildings in there and keeping all your people happy and giving them work, and you have to go around and gather resources. So it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. So.
Oh. And have you finished it?
No, like I said, because of my issues with it's not math, but like the spatial reasoning, trying to get the tilt straight, it was it would frustrate me a lot. So that's why I would go into the sandbox, where you have everything and just, just build these ridiculous, because the housing, once you get enough blueprints, you can stack the houses up. So you don't have to have as much. They go up like 4 stories. Yeah. But you can build, you get balloons and propellers, and you've got an academy, and you have like business or factories that are polluting. So you have to put them away from your people, because that'll lower your happiness. Yeah, it's much more complicated than usual city builders, but it'll definitely keep you busy. Like I said, plus the quests make it, that's the best part of it. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Matt Davis here is saying something to you.
That would be my husband.
He says, yeah, blue stocking brings me the absolute worst examples when she's prepping a blog post.
Oh, what?
He's being mean. Some of my stories that I've shared on my blog scare him.
Oh.
The Grimm tales are scary.
Hey, I'm up for this. I want to read more of your blog posts. Tell us your website.
Steampunklibrarian.blog.
Oh, I've been there. Okay, I know this place. I didn't realize that was you. For some reason, I didn't make the connection.
There's not a lot of steampunk right now. Most of it is fairy tales, folklore, and my PhD classes. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the other places I was scouring for my own today, and I ran across a bunch of things. A bunch of conventions are going again, so a lot of the musicians are starting to kind of come out of their deep slumbers and starting to do things. I know, heck, some of the more bigger. I just love.
Thank you.
There we go. Perfect. I know some of the musicians are finally coming out of the woodwork and starting to kind of do online conventions again, trying to raise some money, or going to actual conventions and doing shows again. And I know one show went off in Dallas. Allcon was good this weekend, and I had a couple friends there this weekend, and they did really well. They saw a lot of good people. I haven't really got to talk to them a whole lot yet. They're like sleeping still from the weekend. Apparently, it was that good, but they're going to be doing it again in 5 months for Allcon. I think Allcon's going to be a bi-yearly thing. So that'll be fun. I would like to be involved in that later. But do you have anything, guys? Thax, Omar? I know you have something, Omar. You've been talking about it.
Well, like part of it, like I have a thing that it was part of my October viewing, but it was something that the last time I was here, I mentioned that unfortunately Hollywood hasn't really tapped into steampunk as a venue or setting for a lot of like, and
not well anyway.
Not well, but there's one, because and this is just it's part of my yearly viewing, and it's campy, it's schlocky, but it's fun. And it was the 2004 film Van Helsing, starring Hugh Jackman.
Yes,
I love that one.
I mean, because you have it's like, and it's not steampunk by purest definition, but you have galvanic gadgetry, you have steam powered or like gas pressured Gatling crossbow. I mean, it's as good as it could get, like a giant photonic grenade that Carl just on the fly realized, oh, we're going up against a bunch of vampires now. Now I know what it's for. It's like, oh, okay, good thing that I invented this. Like, it's It's kooky. It's serious. It's exciting. It has
fun.
it's just fun. Like it has all of these excellent elements that good steampunk adventure fiction has, but hasn't really shown too much in Hollywood. And that was 2004, 17 years ago. You know.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say it like that.
No, I know it came. I watched it in theater.
I got salt and pepper. I'm fine.
I think that's because Hollywood, the margins they expect from a movie are so high, they can't take risks and they can't accept mediocre, returns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
A goofy, schlocky movie like that, then or now, is not going to thrill them. Unfortunately.
Just put it out there, based on everything, the lead up to what you just said, I would love to see a steampunk version of the Avengers. I would love that.
Oh yeah.
That would make bank.
I mean, how did Wild Wild West get made then? That's what gets me.
Ask Kevin Smith.
Oh, that makes never mind.
That's it. I mean, it's out there.
Yeah.
Big names. But I mean
it's not I'm gonna say this and it's gonna hurt my soul a little bit. It's not a terrible movie. I like it. It's funny. It's
a good example of steampunk. When they don't know what it is, you can say Wild Wild West.
Yeah. It's the only thing that mainstream media knows as steampunk, because you can sit there and say it's neo-Victorian science fiction from the perspective of the Victorians when they thought what the future might hold, and people were just like, "You lost me when you said Victorian."
Like Victorian futurism, essentially.
Have you seen Wild Wild West? Oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's like that.
But I mean, if you look at like Mortal Engine's Predator Cities, that tanked. I liked it. I thought, but I liked the book too. But
yeah, and
the movie, we were the only people in the theater when we went to see it. I was so sad.
Yeah,
it was so sad.
I will.
That movie deserved better when we saw it, but I mean, it's like, yeah, it's just like, and it wasn't the story's fault. It was the execution. That was like my biggest takeaway, like from that.
Oh, what was that show on Netflix recently that had the big like cloud wall, and it was a big shadow wall, and you had to like drive
Shadow and Bone.
Yeah, Shadow and Bone was awesome.
That's
and to me, it feels like what's like turn of the 19th century Russian steampunk in a lot of ways.
They were calling it Tsarpunk.
Yeah,
which I thought was very cool.
Like this needs to be a thing, because I was like, everyone's uniform. I'm like, I want that jacket. I want that coat. I want that. That needs to be part of my it made me excited to be a steampunk person again, because there is finally something that is in mainstream media that I can jump onto, and I'm looking forward to a second season of it.
I will add that to my list as well. There's too much to watch right now. I can't keep up with it.
Man, I need that second season.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
There's 3 books. There's
I know.
3 books,
actually, there's 3 books, and then there was another series of books, and that's actually why you have the main story arc of the sorceress and the emperor and whatnot. That is actually the first 3, and then the second series he wrote was from the perspective of his gangsters that were his thieves and gangsters running his own book story series.
The gangsters aren't even in the first 3 books.
Yeah, they're not. But
and they were my favorite part.
Yeah, like in the second series of books, he threads them through the main plot lines. So you have this kind of it's like Ender's Shadow. There's another storyline within the storyline that you're actually following these other characters around, so that you hit the main events from the other story when you're reading it. It's fantastic. I want to go read the books now that I know all this, but they did a great job making it the TV show. Let's see here.
One of the key technologies in the first season that no one really even knows about is a Generation 1 locomotive.
Yeah.
They use this as a means of traversing this impassable natural barrier of pure darkness. And the only reason why it's impassable is because life has taken root inside this sort of like vastness of opacity. And
I disagree with your term life, sir.
If they can die, they're alive.
I mean, they're mutated life. I'll admit that it's like because
hideous creatures of darkness in a magical world. I disagree with your term using the term life.
I'll admit it's very
that which has no life.
But it's definitely impassable.
For most people they just use these like ships that are powered essentially by airbenders, and they guard them with firebenders, and those are like their go-to munitions for when they're passing through the sea of darkness.
Well, they have guys with rifles, but they're fairly inaccurate.
Because a rifle you have to be able to see in order to see a target to actually put it to good use.
And they don't want light until they're actually found out. Then they want all the light they can get.
Oh yes, yeah. LEDs would be gangbusters.
Oh man, those headlights that blind me every night, those are what those people need.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there'd be
those safari lights that burn my corneas whenever I drive at night.
Yeah, that's what happens to the bats in there. They just fry.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's technically the LED would fix all their problems. We wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. It would no longer be an impassable thing. Technically, it'd be a wonderful place to go camping on the weekend.
Yeah. In the mountains. Very nice. Very Colorado. Yes.
You have intrigued me. I will go watch that one as well this week.
Oh, that one is a fantastic one.
Okay.
Give yourself about 8.5 hours because
how many episodes is it?
It's like
10 or less. I forget exactly.
I have to balance it against how much homework I have to avoid. So
it's a full day.
Okay.
It's one of those where you watch an episode and you have that conversation with yourself. I can watch just one more episode. My homework will still be there.
The homework will always be there.
I still have nightmares on my graduate program. Yeah.
This is my second one. I got my master's in library science, and then I went right into a PhD in rhetoric.
Ooh,
so I've been in it 3 years. So I'm comping next spring. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Very good. Very good.
I'm looking forward to being able to refer to you as Dr. Blue Stocking.
We're going to do that.
Hopefully December of 2023. I'll start dissertating next summer if I pass my comps. So we'll see.
Sounds like
but my subject has already been accepted. So we're good to go. Yeah. Just got to get there. So.
It annoys me that as many tests as I've gone through to be a financial planner, and I hold like 8 certificates, and yet I don't get anything cool. It's taken me as long as it has to get a master's or more to have all these certificates. And then I got to keep up with like 24 to 36 hours worth of homework a year to keep these things up. And I still don't get a cool thing on my name.
Did you get the student loans?
No.
There you
fortunately, my mother did pay for
that's an accomplishment.
So, no, yeah.
Because I won't even tell you what.
Thank you, Mom, for keeping me debt free.
My student loans have reached a point because I just keep rolling it over because I started college in 2012 and I just associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD.
Yeah, just keep getting them. Get like 8 or 9, and before you're 80,
keep rolling it over.
Yeah, and then you'll never actually ever have to pay them off. I think that's what they want. They want you to become a professor. You just keep going.
I'm working on it.
Just keep you completely in debt to the point where, like, you know what? I can't get out from under this freaking tower of debt. So I'm just going to continue just getting more from the system.
Well, I mean, I'm 45 now, so like, you know, if I can buy a house before my loans come due, then what am I worried about my credit? So.
Oh, love it. Oh,
Shadow and Bone. Watch it on Netflix.
Exactly.
Does anybody else have steampunk homework that they wanted to?
As far as homework, okay. So, like, I mean, that was, you know,
that wasn't even the homework.
Oh no, that wasn't. I mean, it's a 17-year-old.
That was a side quest.
Okay.
So I love my comics. I love comic books. And there is this compilation that I got a few years ago, and I didn't know about the homework thing until last time. But there is this Dynamite published compilation. It's called Legendary, and I don't know how well this is going to pick up on my camera, but you have sort of like Generation 1, Golden Age, because you like Golden Age heroes. You have the Phantom. You have here we go. Thank you. some of you can identify them. Like you have the Phantom, you have Zorro, you have Green Hornet, you have Red Sonja. I don't know if they have like Doc Samson in here. It's been a little bit, but you have all of these references to Vernian sort of like fiction, Jules Verne's Vernian fiction. You have references to the Island of Lost Souls. It's just in this wonderful like steampunk landscape. All of this trying to pair all of these characters together, and it's just done magnificently. I highly recommend it. Dynamite Legendary Collection for anyone who is into steampunk and comics, because there's definitely more out there in literature for steampunk than any other media platform. So I would highly recommend that as my homework.
Is it like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, kind of? Or it brings together all the fictional characters? Yes,
because you have like I said, you have Red Sonja, Vampirella, you have a number of these characters. Vampirella, she owns a nightclub, and if her bouncers don't stop troublemakers, then she will just take care of it herself.
So it's all
a little bordello of blood there.
Yeah, a little bit. Like if she's upfront about it, like, hey, if you're at the club, don't start any trouble. Otherwise, that's just how it is. Never been a man to do a woman's job. There you go. So
awesome.
Nice. All right.
But yeah, sorry to kind of like
no,
take it over there for a second.
No.
Your job. You did the work. That's what it's for. And I honestly, I wish you could go for another like 5 minutes.
Because no problem.
You did talk about Halloween, so I could do that. My Halloween was cinematic.
Oh, yeah, yes. Explain a little bit about some of the movies you've been going through.
So, really just going through Halloween itself. I had one monster, one campy, one classic, and one found footage, one action. All horror related. The campy classic, more or less, was Roger Corman's Attack of the Crab Monsters, wherein a group of scientists, they have a science book in one scene. And they use the term electron.
We're doing science.
It's like the trunk from like the Army of Darkness. It just opens up. It's got the calculus books that he's had in there since he was in college.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, no, my friend keeps his books in his trunk just for that reason. If he ever gets stuck back in time.
Hey, it can help. I mean, he already knows enough about metallurgy and like forging to where it can make a prosthetic like metal hand, but the scientists go to this island because one of their colleagues has strangely disappeared. The first half of it is kind of like a old-fashioned PC point-and-click game, like, oh, we found a journal. What does he say? Found mysterious life form, and then gonna look harder tomorrow, and then that's it. He just disappears. So it turns out that the island has been overtaken by giant mutated crabs that can ingest human brains and then telepathically resonate their thoughts through
I think I've
metal
seen this.
objects.
I remember that plot.
Isn't it great?
I think it was on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. I've seen it before. It's terrible.
Facts. Isn't there a song about something like this? Space Corp did?
Not by Space Corp, but yeah, I think giant mechanical crabs.
Yeah, like attacking like a seaboard or something. And
hold on, by the External Combustion Orchestra.
There they are.
Yes, I did not appreciate them in live, but they did have an amusing song.
Hey,
that's a way to put it.
We still would like to have them back at Steampunk November, however.
They played Steampunk
great
November.
I was gonna make a joke, but if you want them there, I'll refrain.
Well, I got the feeling that they're, they don't take themselves too seriously. They have a song about giant mechanical crabs.
Yep.
So I bet they're a lot of fun to have a beer with.
Oh yeah, Nicole's already singing it to herself right there in the comments. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going. Continue.
No, that's fine. So that was the campy classic for me. Goes back to 1991, and so there's a film called Warlock starring Richard E. Grant and
Julian Sands.
Yes, Julian Sands.
I had his picture hanging in my locker when I was 15 years old because of that movie. Yes.
Ooh.
And essentially a witch hunter from mid-17th century Massachusetts is transported via time NATO to
so bad
to 1989 Los Angeles. And Julian Sands, the Warlock, I don't even think he has like a name. I think they just call him the Witch or the Warlock.
Yeah.
And he has an evil quest. He has to combine the 3 pieces of the Grand Grimoire.
Grimoire.
Like the most powerful grimoire in existence, so that he could say the name of God and then undo all of creation. To what benefit? But he's evil, so I mean, whatever. Very creative kills. Richard E. Grant is a surprisingly good action hero.
He really is. He was so good. Yeah, I love him.
There's this one scene where like my buddy's cracked up because a Mennonite had painted a hex mark on the barn. And, he's like, oh, I know what that is. Stop. We got to stop off at this farm. And then he just bursts into someone's kitchen and says, tell me your woes. Tell me. It's like, there was like, we were just cracking up because of like some random stranger just like slamming into your kitchen. It's like, tell me one of the witches. Tell me your woes. Wonderful.
It's so bad, but it's so good.
It is so good.
It's on my list now.
I watched it a lot.
I don't blame you. It's good for what it is. Like, it's been like Julian Sands can be creepy without even trying. Like, he's with a little boy at one point, and he's explaining, well, I'm a witch. It's like, you ain't a witch. Witches are girls. That's sissy stuff. It's like, some are men. Like,
he's so good, though. Did you Did you ever see Gothic with him?
No, I haven't. What is
Gothic? It was before that. It was about the creation of It was about the night at the night in Switzerland when Frankenstein was created.
Ooh.
He plays Percy Shelley.
Nice. Oh
yeah. And Gabriel Byrne.
The Wild Night of Debauchery, as I recall.
Yeah, it is bananas, but it is so good. It is so good. It has the best soundtrack. Yeah.
Nice. I'll look that up.
Yeah, Julian Sands. He's always been one of my favorites. He's just crazy in everything he's in.
It's like, but he's that interesting kind of sophisticated where he can play almost anything and you absolutely take it seriously, and he's absolutely intimidating as well.
Yeah, he's got that voice. I mean, when he was in Room with the View, everything he's in, he's
Naked Lunch. He was horrifying in Naked Lunch.
Horrible.
I ain't going into it here, but
that's terrifying.
Boxing
Helena. The kids are here for the steampunk, but
let's just say that's not steampunk.
Sorry.
This will be a video later on his channel, though. Apparently,
Boxing Helena. All I'm gonna say. David Lynch's daughter directed it. I highly recommend it. Julian Sands is Moving on.
Sure. So there was that there was Warlock. The found footage was a film called WNUF Halloween Special that is a pure nostalgia bomb, and it's wonderful. I don't know if Jack has seen it.
I have not. I was actually going to type it right now to look it up to save it for later.
It's available. It's available on YouTube. You could see it, like the whole thing, and pretty much it's like if you're from the 80s, if you remember anything about the 80s or even like the early 90s, it'll really take you back. And it's a really small time local like news satellite, and they're doing a improv seance. What could go wrong?
And that's how you get demons.
And that's how you get the demons. Exactly. From there, because we had one classic, the found footage. Our action film was Blade 2. It's pretty like when Guillermo del Toro took over the wheel, really turned it. Like the first Blade was still impressive. The second one much better.
Really?
Much.
Fax is making a face.
See, I'm a third.
In my mind, I remember Blade 2 being kind of a stinker, but
agree to disagree.
You know,
the third one was not.
I could be.
Third one
I could be wrong.
Third one was with Parker Posey and Triple H, and the older brother from Prison Escape.
And
so yeah, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. That's my problem.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Jack. Like what you like. I
mean, if you want the whole weird, like mutated vampire thing, that's cool. The vampire dogs were fantastic. Honestly, the Chihuahua, I mean, the Pomeranian one and the third one is far superior than the German Shepherds and the Rottweilers they had in the second one.
There you go. Yeah.
There's just something about this big that has a face that goes and then just
like
utterly terrifies you and tries to eat Deadpool's face. I'm
sold.
See, I mean,
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, no, that's the whole reason I watched Blade 3 is literally is baby Deadpool. It's the whole reason Ryan Reynolds was got for Deadpool. I'm sure is because freaking Stan Lee is like, no, this is the guy that needs to play Deadpool.
God created him to be Deadpool.
Basically, yeah.
He does fit, but yeah. So for some reason or another, like I think the other one that we saw, it was a Japanese one, Kuroneko. For those who are unfamiliar with this, is a Japanese film that embraces their kind of, it means black cat. And so what happens is that these two women are murdered by a gang of samurai during the feudal era. And they come back to life as like otherworldly spirits. And they have this essentially a revenge quest. They want to destroy all samurai. And a lot of it goes through the themes of like revenge is essentially you're doing the greatest harm to yourself. But it's a beautiful black and white. I believe it's 1966.
I love that you have it back there.
Oh yeah, 68. Almost had it, off by 2 years. But Kaneto Shindo Kuroneko. So it's surreal. Oh, not surreal. It's dreamlike. No, that is surreal. Sorry. Semantics. But no, it's beautiful and it is tragic, and I highly recommend it. So there we go. Horror.
Hey, that was what all of October was.
Yeah.
And,
I tried to Google Kuroneko and I got something entirely different.
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, it's still Japanese, but it's definitely not about killing samurai. Maybe I'm.
Is safe search on?
Maybe I'm spelling wrong. Oh,
Kuroneko. They are two separate words. So.
Okay, I was writing Kuruneko, one word. I got something else.
I don't know what that means.
Back out.
Something cat. It's cat thing. Japanese cat thing. I don't know. This looks cool. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, of course it does. We expect nothing less from you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we're coming up on time.
I know.
I guess Jack and I will have to do our homework next episode.
Next episode.
I think Jack was stalling so he wouldn't have to do it.
Exactly.
I do want to mention this is like the last episode before what would have been Steampunk November.
I know.
The weekend 12th through 14th. It was canceled because of the pandemic and problems as a result of that. But I wanted to bring up there are like other things happening that weekend and across the
universe
month of November.
Yes.
Like there's a holistic and metaphysical festival in Waco. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's not exactly steampunk, but it's, parallel to steampunk if you're into that sort of stuff. There's
Depends on
also a
what you're reading.
steampunk belly dance variety show.
A
At
variety.
the Highway Bar in Arlington, Texas. Both of those are happening on Sunday the 14th. But also, there's a lot of holiday fairs and Christmas bazaars, and those are perfect for putting on your steampunk outfits and going to the Dickens on the Strand in Galveston is happening.
Oh, is it?
Just the first weekend in December.
Okay.
Dickens on Main in Green, Texas is the weekend before that, but I'm sure they're happening all over the state. I just haven't found them all yet. So go on Facebook and look in your area and consider checking those out, or at least telling me about them. So I can put them on the
Tell us
calendar.
about them. Post them all over our page. We'll talk about them.
And I wanted to make sure everyone knew we have a Patreon page where you can help us out a little bit on the expenses for running this show, which we then post on podcast spaces and such. And wanted to call out the people who are currently on our Patreon. Wanted to thank Rita, who was watching our show or was earlier. Wanted to thank Kitty, who's been on our show a few times. You've seen her. Jenny Shaver and her husband Ryan. And we got a new patron, Claire Bear, who I don't think I've seen make comments, but apparently she thought well enough of us to add her name to our Patreon list. So thank you for helping us out. I wanted to make sure we got those in there before we say goodbye today.
Clarence. Hi, Clarence.
It's me, Clarence. You're Claire Bear.
Love it.
Did not see that coming.
I'll get you some flowers, sir. Put them on your hat.
I was really expecting this cute little chibi, maid girl. It was
Hey, don't make fun of
$3 for a beer. So that's what you look like now in my head.
Awesome. No, guys, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of money there. It just does help us use the this program that we use and help us broadcast it out here to Facebook, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If you're listening to us later, by all means, you can make comments on the Facebook comment section that we will see, or make a post, or send an email to Texas Steampunk Connection at gmail.com. I'm checking that every once in a while here, and not as fast as on Facebook itself, because, well, I sit on Facebook all day long because my job is boring. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear all the positive remarks or
actually negative remarks. We'll hear negative remarks too, because those are fun to make fun of.
Sorry, guys. I know that a lot of them are going to be my fault. So
I'll tell you what, we'll have you on, and you have to read them to us.
You just read them off.
Yeah.
Make them stand in the corner.
Yeah, we'll stand up like, Jack's hair is terrible.
Oh no!
Screw you too. Have a thing. It'll be okay. Actually, that could be fun. I'm looking forward to it now.
Our music is brought to us from zapsplat.com, which I am legally required to mention. So there's that. Is there anything anybody else has to put forward before we call it a night?
I'm good. Steam Chest should be shipping this week. I'm sorry, it's a little late, but we're all out. It's coming out this week.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and until next time, mind your gauges.
Say the thing.